Assalamualaikum and good evening. The Sarawak Governor Tun Bin Sri Dr. Wan Junaidi Tuanku Jaafar safely arrived in Brunei Darussalam on Tuesday to attend several official functions and ceremonies in conjunction with the 80th birthday celebrations of His Majesty Paduka Seri Baginda Sultan Haji Hassanal Bolkiah Muizzaddin Wad Daulah, the Sultan and Yang di-Pertuan of Brunei Darussalam. Tun Bin Sri Dr. Wan Junaidi, accompanied by his wife Toh Puan Datuk Patinggi Fauziah Muhammad Sanusi, arrived at 12:10 p.m. after departing from the Hornbill Skywest Terminal in Kuching. His arrival was welcomed by the Minister for National Security Coordination, Minister at the Prime Minister's Office and Minister of Defence II of Brunei Darussalam, Pehin Datu Laila Raja, Major General retired Datuk Paduka Sri Awang Halbi Mat Yusof, alongside several senior government leaders and national security forces of the country. Immediately upon arrival, Tun Bin Sri Dr. Wan Junaidi was accorded the honour of inspecting the Royal Brunei Guard of Honour before proceeding to his official residence. The visit of Tun Bin Sri Dr. Wan Junaidi and his delegation to Brunei is at the official invitation of the Government of Brunei Darussalam, thereby reflecting the close ties of friendship and solid cooperation long established between the Sarawak and neighbouring nation. The Sarawak Premier Datuk Patinggi Tan Sri Dr. Abang Abdul Rahman Zohari Tun Datuk Abang Openg received a courtesy call from the Associated Chinese Chambers of Commerce and Industry of Sarawak ACCCIS at the Satria Pertiwi Complex, Putrajaya on Tuesday. The visit, led by Sarawak Deputy Premier Dato' Amar Professor Dr. Sim Kui Hian, aimed to submit a memorandum regarding several current issues affecting the business community in the state. The memorandum outlined three key issues, namely the high costs under the foreign workers transformation approach, the threats of illegal gambling activities and drug abuse, as well as the challenges arising from the implementation of the diesel subsidy mechanism under the Subsidized Diesel Control Scheme. In addition to highlighting these issues, ACCCIS also put forward several proposals to reduce business operating costs, enhance enterprise competitiveness, and support the sustainable economic growth of Sarawak. The meeting took place in a positive atmosphere through discussions and exchanges of views on various issues impacting the business community in Sarawak. In the meantime, ACCCIS expressed its appreciation to the Sarawak government for its continuous commitment to driving the state's economic development and thanked the Premier of Sarawak for his willingness to listen to the views and concerns of the business community. ACCCIS also expressed its full support for the Sarawak government's development agenda and remains committed to further strengthening cooperation with the state government in creating a more conducive business environment for Sarawak's long-term prosperity. Sarawak aims to emerge as a global model in green economy development by leveraging the wealth of forest resources, biodiversity and scientific research as drivers of sustainable growth. Datuk Patinggi Abang Zohari said the approach aims to balance environmental conservation with economic development through the application of innovation, technology and high-impact research. According to him, Sarawak is now changing the paradigm of forest management from relying on logging revenues to exploring new economic resources based on research and innovation.
That is why perhaps we have to look into the conservation process, the sustainability of our biodiversity, and to find economic benefits that are purely to assist the present ecosystem without jeopardizing the environment. And this is a very complex issue, but for us, Sabah, Sarawak, Peninsula Malaysia, we are very fortunate. We are the good.
He said this when speaking at the welcoming dinner for the 21st Malaysian Forestry Conference 2026 in Kuching on Monday. Meanwhile, he said Sarawak was also leveraging artificial intelligence technology to accelerate biodiversity research, thus expanding the potential for new discoveries in the fields of science, biotechnology and medicine. Touching on the carbon trading, Datuk Patinggi Abang Zohari said Sarawak was in the strategic position because it has vast forest areas as natural carbon sinks, thus supporting the aspirations of net zero emissions while creating new sources of income for the state. Amanah Saham Sarawak ASSAR announced a dividend distribution of 6.5 cent per unit for the financial year ending June 2026, an increase of 8.3% compared to 6.0 cent per unit given for the financial years 2025 and 2024. The Sarawak Premier said the dividend rate of 6.5 cent per unit was the highest in Malaysia apart from the Employees Provident Fund EPF dividend.
Pengagihan yang secara keseluruhannya berjumlah 34.35 juta ringgit. Ini merangkumi pengagihan interim 3 sen seunit yang telah pun dilaksanakan pada 16 Februari lepas. Manakala pengagihan selebihnya iaitu sebanyak 3.5 sen seunit akan dilakukan sebelum penghujung bulan Julai ini. Before end of July, we give you the dividend. Untuk disalurkan kepada 57,926 pemegang unit ASSAR berdasarkan baki pegangan unit mereka pada 30 Jun 2026.
He said when speaking at the ASSAR dividend announcement ceremony for the financial year ending June 30, 2026 in Kuching on Monday. Datuk Petinggi Abang Zohari added that ASSAR also recorded distributable income of 39.65 million ringgit, thus providing excess income of 20.54 million ringgit as reserves after taking into account the allocation of 19.11 million ringgit for the next dividend distribution. According to him, this achievement enabled ASSAR's income reserves to increase by 71.3% from 11.99 million ringgit at the end of the financial year 2025 to 20.54 million ringgit this year. The proposed establishments of ASSAR 2 has the potential to open up opportunities for non-Bumiputera Sarawakians to join ASSAR as part of efforts to expand the people's participation in the state investment. Sarawak Premier Datuk Petinggi Tan Sri Dr. Abang Abdul Rahman Zohari Tun Dato' Abang Openg said the proposal is in line with Sarawak's rapid economic development and aims to expand the investments portfolio in order to provide better returns to investors.
Maybe we have to expand the portfolio with certainty in return. Kalau ASB ada ASB 1, ada ASB 2, mungkin kita boleh buatkan ASSAR 1, ASSAR 2. Jadi ia dapat memberi peluang kepada the non-Bumiputera to participate in this trust fund. Dengan adanya keluasan ekonomi ini dan juga keadaan yang begitu positif, your fifth instrument can be expanded and the way to save your fund. Because we got our Sarawak Pay.
He added that the approach can also take advantage of digital platforms such as SMeC Global to promote the culture of saving and investing among the people of Sarawak. According to him, the inclusive approach is believed to be able to open up opportunities for more Sarawakians to jointly contribute to the state's economic development. Meanwhile, Datuk Petinggi Abang Zohari said the Sarawak government has not thought of holding a state election PRN in the near future, instead continuing to focus on development efforts and ensuring that the people of the state enjoy the benefits of the current economic growth. Sarawak Premier said his current focus is to provide benefits to the people of Sarawak for them to jointly experience the rapid development of the state.
Saya sadar mikir film kaya loh. Saya mikir gini nak bagi duit banyak kan sudah. Bagi dengan rakyat dapat bersama-sama dalam pembangunan kita yang rancak ini. Jadi fikiran saya sadar masuk pilihan rakyat.
Commenting on certain parties putting pressure on Sarawak to hold a state election, Datuk Petinggi Abang Zohari insisted that the matter would not affect Sarawak's position and ensure the state development could continue. He added that the state government administration was in no rush to dissolve the Sarawak Legislative Assembly as the full term will only be reached in February 2027. The Sarawak Media Conference SMeC 2026 is introducing a new format by placing emphasis on the skills development of media practitioners through a series of workshops related to AI videography, photography and digital editing. Sarawak Deputy Minister in the Premier's Department Corporate Affairs, Information and UKAS, Dato' Abdullah Saidul, explained that unlike previous editions, this year's conference will only last for half a day before proceeding with several series of media workshops.
Format media conference kita agak berubah kerana kita ingin mengadakan workshop yang akan disusuli dengan 2 workshop, media workshop pada minggu-minggu berikutnya selepas 16 hari bulan, di mana masanya akan tarikhnya akan ditetapkan kemudian, tetapi saya boleh nyatakan sini antara venue untuk workshop media ini adalah di SMeC dan juga Tegas Tabuk, itu Tegas Digital Village.
He said this during a press conference for SMeC 2026 in Kuching on Monday. According to him, the workshops to be held at SMeC and the Tegas Digital Village will be open free of charge to journalists, stringers, content creators and influencers to enhance their skills and strengthen networking within the media industry. Dato' Abdullah further added that SMeC 2026 will also organize a media sports carnival in Kuching, Sibu, as well as Miri or Bintulu depending on suitability. The conference will be officiated by the Sarawak Premier this 16 July. Sarawak aims to emerge as a primary regional hub for media conferences through the staging of the SMeC. Dato' Abdullah said this effort will be implemented progressively by expanding the participation and involvement of media figures from both home and abroad.
Hajat besar melalui konferensi ini pada suatu hari nanti, jika kita berjaya menarik ramai orang untuk hadir ke konferensi ini, mungkin kita naikkan levelnya ke perituran antarabangsa dan melibatkan individu atau personality media yang lebih hebat daripada luar negara.
According to him, the theme Media, Trust and Governance in Rapidly Evolving Digital World was chosen to focus on the challenges of today's media world, including the development of AI, the spread of fake news and digital propaganda. The SMeC 2026 will feature 2 speakers and 3 panelists and is expected to gather a total of 650 delegates consisting of local and foreign media practitioners, public relation officers, as well as representatives from public higher learning institutions and private higher learning institutions. And that's the English edition with me, Saiful Bahri Muhammad. More news can be found in our official portal ukas.sarawak.gov.my and social media platforms including Facebook and YouTube. We round up the UKAS Bulletin tonight with the highlights of the welcoming dinner for the 21st Malaysian Forestry Conference 2026 in Kuching on Monday. #Saluran Informasi Rakyat. Have a good night.